Right, here we are, 3 minutes away from Starship Flight 4. I'm back. I'm at home. Last time for Flight 3, I had to watch it in a park, which was quite funny. I'm so jazzed about this, like, really hyped. This one snuck up on me a little bit, but here we are, Ship 29, Booster 11. Going through a few changes compared to the last flight. Prop load is closed out. We are 2 minutes 20 seconds away. I wanna. There's so many cool things like from the last flight. Last flight was absolutely amazing, and building on that today is going to be epic. I really hope that the streak of improvement on each flight continues. That's like that's what matters. These things can blow up, whatever, you know, ultimately fail, but as long as it's built from the last flight and gotten better from the last flight, that is what matters. What I don't want is like an SN11 moment. Oh god, if you remember back for the low altitude flights, SN11 was not it, Chief. So we are 1.5 minutes away. They could hold up 40 seconds, but I'm not planning to. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I'm hoping at least... Oh, predictions. Okay. I'm hoping for a successful booster landing, soft splashdown. I'm hoping the ship maintains control all the way through its orbital period and then, you know, gets to re-entry in a correct position. I hope it makes it all the way through. Predictions. I think the boost back burn will at least be successful this time. I think the ship will hold attitude all the way through its in-space portion. I think the ship will fail during re-entry. I think the booster will get through the boost back burn to the landing burn, and we'll see. 40 seconds. Are they gonna hold? Right, they've gone through 40 seconds, so they're not holding. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Past the 40-second mark. So let's listen in.
It's weird how routine this feels already. Like, I'm back on flight 1. I was standing up at this point, but we've had 2 successful ascents with all of the engines, you know, running on super heavy so far. So like that's an expectation. Like if there's an engine out or an issue on the first stage burn, yeah, they can sustain a few engines out. But anyway, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wraps full power. There's all the engines. And is it a liftoff today? That is a liftoff. Okay. They've got 1 engine out. I jinxed it. No. That's fine. 1 out is within their like engine out capability. Let's just hope that whatever has caused that doesn't spread. Okay. 30 seconds. We've got first stage burn is about 2 minutes 40 seconds, so we've got about 2 minutes left of that. It's good as well. The engine out is not one of the ones, yeah, you can see it there. That's not one of the ones that's needed for the boost back or the landing burn. So hopefully we'll still be good for that. But yeah, just need to watch this uphill flight now and this is routine. Yeah, Starship Super Heavy, world's most powerful rocket, just heading to space. Yeah, no. The real excitement comes now in about 1.5 minutes. That's when we start getting to the points where stuff hasn't been so successful so far. So just to recap, last time the boost back burn shut down early. That was because of clogging of the LOX lines to the engines. So like maybe foreign object debris, I don't know. They've said they've improved like the filtering and stuff like that to get it better. So just to recap, like in about 1 minute, most of the engines will shut down, but some will continue firing. The ship will have all 6 of its engines come online and separate. The booster will still have some engines running at that point, and as soon as the ship separates, the inner engines will start back up again, and it will begin its flip and boost back burn. Once the boost back burn's done, all those engines shut down, it flips back, it comes into landing burn. Last time, the boost back burn, I think it was 6 engines failed prematurely or shut down prematurely, and because of that, they made it to the landing burn, but only 2 lit. So I really want to see a more successful boost back burn. What is this turn? I hope that's planned. That was a very aggressive turn, but it looks like we're continuing as normal. Engine shutdown should be coming up any second now.
Turn off in different groups, and you'll see those 3 center ones lit.
The grid fins are moving already. Grid fins are moving before shutdown. Right, there's engine shutdown.
Ship ignition.
Okay, all 6 ship engines. Okay, come on. How many engines come back on the booster? That is all engines back on. Now they just need to stay on for this boost back burn. Boost back burn is meant to shut down 352.
Power booster boosting back. Okay. Looks like all 13 are lit. Kate, you've got a booster on the way back to the Gulf and a ship on the way to space.
Come on, give us a super heavy landing. Give us a super heavy landing. I want to see catches come soon. They've spoken about potentially doing it on the next flight. We'll see about that. But I reckon with the next few flights, they might be ready to start catch attempts. And that's going to be mental. Just the idea that this launch tower is going to pluck a booster out of the sky. And it does look like we're having a good boost back burn this time. Yep, down to 3 engines. And shutdown is meant to be any second now.
Basically from here on.
Okay. I think that was nominal. So in a couple of moments, this goes really fast because the booster doesn't have. Oh yeah, that's new. The hot stage ring is being jettisoned. I don't know why. Well, they've said it's to reduce booster mass during landing, but full.
Reduce the weight of
temporary fix. We need to keep that if we're going to have full reusability. But so yeah, this is going to be really quick because the booster doesn't do a re-entry burn. It's built like a tank, so it just kind of bodies its way through the atmosphere with no re-entry burn, which is one of the things that makes the engine relighting a bit not suspect or worrisome, but yeah, exciting. The fact that this thing has to re-enter the atmosphere with no re-entry burn, because that's what Falcon 9 does. It has a re-entry burn, and that's not about slowing it down. It's the fact that actually having those engines running acts like a quasi heat shield coming back through the hottest part of re-entry. It's insane, like the engineering that goes into these things, and the fact that Super Heavy isn't going to have that, is going to have all that heating in the engine section, and then needs to relight its center engines again for a landing. I'm just nerding out at this point. I'm just nerding out. This is what happens when I'm not as hyped. I'm just going to keep babbling.
As we can see on your screen.
Okay, down comes the booster, and look at me. I'm not even paying attention to this ship, but all 6 engines still going.
These views have been looking incredible.
Okay.
Super Heavy has been performing beautifully today. And
we are about 40 seconds from the landing burn, and it's still 60 kilometers up. This thing does not mess around. It slams back towards the ground.
We are just about 30 seconds away from that landing burn.
The landing burn shutdown is in 40 seconds, and it is still 45 kilometers up. This is going to be on the ground in moments. It's insane. Also, that is a new camera. That is the top of the booster where the hot staging ring has been jettisoned from. Anyway, coming up on landing burn.
Grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric re-entry.
See how many of these engines start up.
Expecting that landing burn here.
Hello? Landing burn? Landing burn? Landing burn.
Igniting 13 engines, and this is a great view. On your left-hand side is a view.
I think the landing burn might have,
and your right-hand side a view from the ship.
Failed.
And you can see
the
red fins on your left-hand screen.
Maybe.
Rotating
no.
And turning.
Oh no. Okay. That was late. We're down. We're missing an engine. Okay, down to 3. Holy cow! This is a soft splashdown. No. That's not. Is that a splashdown or is that hovering where the towel should be? Okay, no. Now it is tipping over. It is. Has that survived? Is there a super heavy booster in one piece just floating right now? That is so cool. That is. I didn't think the landing burn was going to start. I thought that. I swear that was late. Yeah, super heavy landing burn start up. 6 minutes 43 seconds. I swear that didn't start until like 7 minutes. Alright, and ship engine shutdown is coming up now.
As we mentioned before, today's test flight is not an orbital flight, but rather one that demonstrates Starship's orbital capability.
Any second now? It's fine that it's on 3 engines. That's normal. It goes down to the last 3 engines just for this last little bit of the burn. There we go. Ship engine shut down. And now we just need to hope that the ship maintains attitude control in space, because that's what failed last time. There's no in-space objectives today. They're not going for the engine relight. They're not doing a payload door, propellant transfer, anything like that. So we are just now in space. Need to stay in the right attitude, keep that belly down attitude when we're coming into land. They've added like new thrusters and stuff like that. They've beefed up the systems on this, but it's all about that re-entry now in oh god, in like 40 odd minutes, just under 40 minutes. But they landed super heavy with an engine out. That's worth saying as well, because Falcon 9 has no redundancy in its landing. It is what is sort of known as a suicide burn. It's not exactly a suicide burn, because a suicide burn is you start your engine and have it at full throttle at like the millisecond where being at full throttle means that you'll be at precisely 0 when you hit the ground. Falcon does have some throttability, but it has, in its landing burn, no engine out capability. If you lose your engine during a Falcon boost back or a Falcon landing, that thing is not having a soft touchdown. Or it could have a soft touchdown, but it's not having a soft touchdown on target in the landing zone. Super Heavy has the ability to hover, so like hold position, because that's another thing about Falcon, is its thrust to rate ratio means that even with the engines at the minimum throttle, when the booster has no fuel in it, engines at minimum throttle, you're going back up again. So Falcon needs to like light at the exact right moment and scream in and touch down on the pad. And even still, they've gotten that insanely reliable. Like the record is hundreds in a row of successful Falcon landings now. Like, it's more risky bringing them back on the drone ship. The risk is higher there that it just tips over in a storm or something than the actual landing from space, which is insane. Super Heavy has engine out capability. It has the ability to hover. Like, this, in theory, should be even more reliable in being able to come back. So much more reliable that they're going to try and catch them. So, to be honest, it's the fact they've demonstrated like an engine out landing is insanely cool. Okay. In Space Coast, I guess I will see you guys in a little bit for the entry. Fingers crossed. Starship, just keep the right attitude, please.
I'm still trying to catch my breath here.
Same. Definitely, I'm trying to catch my breath as well.
Some incredible views that we have never
see you soon.
Before. It has been.
Okay, so we are coming up on the re-entry. last time, and bear in mind last time the ship was tumbling, right now it seems stable, fingers crossed. Last time we started seeing the first signs of plasma as it crossed through 100 kilometers, and that was right around T plus 46 minutes. So based on that, we should only be about 3 and a bit minutes away. Here's hoping that heat shield performs. We don't know what the tiles are like underneath there. Obviously, they've put so much effort and time on this ship into testing all these TPS tiles. I don't know if I can see any missing on that view there. I think maybe one. I can see a spot there, but I don't know what that is. It's going to be hard to tell. Obviously, they'll know from the launch cameras and stuff. They'll have like telescope on it and all kinds of things to see if any tiles fell off. I know they are testing in the engine skirt like a couple of tiles out and a thinner than normal tile. But this is looking good. And these views that we're going to be getting are like incredible. Like that was the highlight of the last flight, and I cannot wait. And we should just be a couple of minutes away now from the first signs of plasma. And they've called entry interface, and it is stable. So here's hoping. This is the real heart pound moment. My eyes are glued right now looking for those first bits of plasma.
More than 5 miles a second and heating up to thousands of degrees. So just having visual representation, just being able to see what's happening is incredibly valuable. So these views are going to be through Starlink. We've got this one. This is in one of the forward flaps looking back. So if you see it rotating around, that's because again it's embedded in one of those
the level of cameras on this is insane, and the quality of this video, the fact that Starlink means that we can see through the usual entry like blackout, the comms blackout, is just it's insane. The technology here, like the parallel tech of Starlink and of Starship. And the reason that we can get these views is obviously because the ship is coming in, the entry interface is here, and usually, speaking of, there it is. Yeah, the entry interface is here, and obviously previously on rockets and stuff, we're transmitting down to the ground, but Starlink, the antennas are on the back of the ship, firing back up into space, and the ship is massive, it's a boat. And so it's giving that clear patch where you can bounce a Starlink signal up to a satellite and then back coming down. But anyway, here is entry beginning, and this is going to be a nail biting 10 minutes or so. I think that it goes transonic at about 1 hour 3 minutes, so actually even more than 10 minutes. It's going to be a good bit here. We didn't make it too deep into re-entry last time, so let's see.
Great call-outs there. Now, during atmospheric re-entry, the vehicle is going to see temperatures as high as 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit or over 1,400 degrees Celsius. So those tiles are there to help protect the vehicle from this extreme heat.
Yeah, and the flaps will help control it. Now, one noticeable difference I see immediately, those flaps are not moving as much as they were on Flight 3. So that is a great sign.
It's a good sign. Last time we made it to about 49 minutes, so we're looking to make it beyond there.
We can see that they're working well, and we have a much more stable view. So those flaps, there's 4 of them, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. They're made out of stainless steel. And yeah, they help steer the ship, which, as we can see, the plasma.
So far, this is so much more controlled.
If the ship survives re-entry, it will have to perform a
we
flip maneuver.
We are nowhere near the harsh parts of entry yet. You mean you can see the speed in the bottom right is still it's even ticking up slightly. It's not going down. Okay, temps within expected ranges on the nose. So you'll know that we're into that really harsh bit of re-entry when you start seeing that speed slamming down. But yeah, no, here we go.
For example, the serial number 10 test that we saw a couple years ago, we're hoping to duplicate that again today. Hopefully we will see it live. And basically,
if they get through re-entry in one piece, like still transmitting video, that is massive. If they get to a landing burn,
so that it can land vertically using
insane.
As you can see, even
insane.
From the beginning of the program,
Anyway,
we designed
like I
Starships
said,
to land on Mars where
this
there are no
is so much
runways or
smoother
other
than
things
last
to
time.
help out. We also want rapid reusability, so we're doing.
The vehicle is passing through 85 kilometers altitude. The flaps have control of the vehicle.
Great news. Flaps have control of the vehicle. That's exactly what we want to hear for this flight test.
Yeah.
Again, we are going to be doing a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes. And we are expecting re-entry.
We have 26,000 kilometers an hour of speed to scrub off here. Look at that glow! Good entry trajectory still. So it is locked in. It is coming home. So now it's all down to the TPS, which didn't get a proper. Obviously, they got loads of data from it last time, but it didn't get a proper test last time because Starship was all over the place. It was tumbling around like it had no chance of making it back. Whereas the position of the ship now is perfect. It's locked in. The flaps have control of it, so it is all down to that thermal protection material to do its job now. So this is the first real test of Starship's TPS and those lovely hexagonal tiles.
And such incredible views that we're getting.
Approaching peak heating region.
Okay, so here comes peak heating.
Great call-outs there.
And we can see that speed is now coming down. We are at the point where we lost comms last time on Flight 3.
Those temperatures continue to rise within expected region.
Okay, expected
regions. In the
regions.
bottom right-hand corner, you can also follow.
Like I said, this is the first test of this heat shield. If they nail this, that is like insanely impressive.
So once again, this view is
And
basically
the speed
looking
is now
down
coming
into
down.
the plasma blanket that is building up around the exterior of Starship. It is traveling, as you can see on your screen. You can look in the bottom right-hand corner and see how fast it's going, how high it is, as well as the general orientation. Again, we're seeing a lot more stability, a lot more control here on this flight, which is great. It shows that the iterations, the
Starship is now in expected peak heating region.
Okay, so this is the hottest part of re-entry.
Great news there, telling us that this is basically the hottest point that Starship should get during its re-entry. Now, the heat shield is working with the atmosphere for some like free braking. Okay, the atmosphere is helping to slow the Starship down.
So I would be talking, but my eyes are just locked on both the speed and the video. The fact they have video is so incredible.
Shield tiles protecting the vehicle as it's coming through that high heat temperature.
Yeah. Now this is another one of those moments that we have been waiting for. Right now,
they have tank integrity. They have the flaps still moving, and the atmosphere is slowing the ship down now.
Do not plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Come on. This is insane. This is so cool.
This incredible.
Well, it's very hot actually, but it's so cool.
Get a similar view in Flight 3, but again, the vehicle did lose a little bit of its attitude control, and this is a very stable view. This is great. This is exactly what we want, and we are hearing that we're getting expected call-outs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Starship is seeing half a G of acceleration, remains on a good entry trajectory.
Okay.
You know, it's incredible to look at this photo and wonder, wait, is it real? Is it frozen? You know, we can see...
It's a good point, because it is like...
Those temperatures have stopped increasing.
The attitude, that is great news. The attitude is locked in steady right now. And like, you can't see it that much, but those flaps are moving, and they're moving tiniest adjustments here.
It is indeed a true view.
No way!
Basically through the plasma that is building up through, or excuse me, around the...
I can't lie, I didn't think it would get this far, and my hopes are building up that it's actually going to make it the next like 5 or 10 minutes.
We've said this over and over, but
I want to see blue skies. I want to see blue skies on video. Like, regardless of if the landing burn works or we get to it, like, I want to see the sky starting to turn blue, coming back from space. Like, come on, come on, come on. I'm babbling at this point, and I know I am.
Right. Now, just a quick future outlook here. So in about
52 minutes, so we should be transonic in 10 minutes.
About 1 hour and 2 minutes, we should hear a call out for entry transonic. That means that the ship is going near the speed of sound. And then about a minute after that, we'll hear another call out saying entry subsonic, meaning that the ship is going below the speed of sound. So these are all continued indications that the atmosphere, right, as the ship comes back down, it is getting through the more dense part of the atmosphere, and that atmosphere is helping to push against the vehicle, and those heat shields are protecting the vehicle during this high heat period.
And we still have so much more to go here. We are at 22,000 kilometers an hour, and just for context, the speed that the booster hits the atmosphere when it's coming back is around about 4,000-ish. So like we have still got so much deacceleration to go here.
Tracking things like temperatures in the nose cone, and those were right where we modeled them to be, which is really cool to see and to see in real time. But we're coming up.
But again, I said at the start of this that I just wanted to see that continued progress. And here it is again, every single time, building on the last flight. Oh, what was that? I hope that was just a chunk of ice or something. There are definitely bits here coming away. Oh, that is hot stuff there.
Once we get through transonic, that's when you've got essentially
Raptor landing bird.
Different areas.
Okay, they're chilling for a landing burn.
Where the air is either moving faster or slower than the speed of sound. We'll eventually get to subsonic, which we have.
I'm not sure I like the look of that plasma.
Starship will eventually get down to.
Unless that's like vapor coming through for the engine chill.
Floating down to the water.
But the fact that we saw little bits there, hopefully it was just like ice and little excess of the blankets coming away, but who knows?
As if we make it all the way down to the water, still going to attempt a landing burn, but still a ways to go. We're at about 64 kilometers in altitude right now. We made it through.
Still another.
To be the peak heating, but now we're going to start encountering increased pressures.
Another 5 odd minutes of real nail-biting tension here, because even though they're through the peak heating, that doesn't mean that by any means they're out of the woods. Like, there's still so much to go on this.
That last signal was coming at 65 kilometers. So again, what we're really looking at here is the performance of the heat shield, of the flaps, of the seals.
There's lots of bits in that. I don't know what to expect to see, because it's so rare that we actually get video coming back. But the fact you can see little pieces coming off, and this is not an ablative heat shield, is...
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory.
Okay, tell me about the temperatures.
Look like we're still on a good trajectory. If you're seeing little camera moves, that's the
but the flaps are actively moving.
The attitude of the vehicle as it re-enters.
Remember, if we start seeing big flap movements, that's probably a sign that things are not going well, because if it's having to make like massive corrections, then that's sort of a bit of a bad sign. But let's see where we end up here.
We've got some sensors looking at just how hot it's getting around there. We intentionally put those in essentially the least critical part of the heat shield.
Like 7 minutes to transonic.
If you had any kind of a breach, it wouldn't be great for reusability, but
these views are incredible.
Making it through the re-entry into the landing.
Absolutely, it is screaming in.
Continuing to descend. Again, right now we are over the Indian Ocean. We're actually getting closer and closer to that expected splashdown point, which is just
17,000 kilometers an hour
of Australia.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
And if you keep an eye
Just
on
a few
our
more
speed,
minutes.
the speed is dropping. We're hitting the thicker part of the atmosphere now. The speed's going to start dropping precipitously. We're going to start getting to transonic pretty soon, and then after that we'll get into subsonic, where we're moving less than the speed of sound. But wow, what a light show so far!
Blimey. That looks like it might be a burn through on that flap.
External temperatures are starting to come down.
Again,
Okay, temps are coming down, but
this camera view is looking right at one of the forward flaps.
come on.
We're strategically putting
There
cameras
is
around the vehicle to just look at
actively,
different
yeah.
areas.
There goes tiles. Okay, we are watching this coming apart.
So we got the flap starting to come apart a little.
Yeah, it does appear that we have a little bit of burn through there. We can see pieces of the vehicle flying off.
That is
What
so cool.
It's been like watching Interstellar or something.
This is but the ship is still coming down, which is incredible.
Come on, give me my blue sky. Give me my blue skies.
That is the question.
Keep your eye on the altitude in the bottom right-hand corner. We're at 54 kilometers right now.
Now, ultimately, the data is the payload today. We've been saying it multiple times.
It looks like there's a bit less and less plasma.
Are sitting, reviewing this data live, learning where the hot spots
Camera's
are.
getting very
There's an obvious hot spot there with the flap. And
That camera's getting blasted by debris.
The goal was to get as far through this high.
So I don't think we're going to get a flip and burn landing because that flap is a bit.
Ideally, we'd love to make it all the way down. And
It's giving Falcon 9, the early Falcon 9s, where the grid fins were not titanium, where they had the aluminum grid fins, and you'd watch these things screaming through the atmosphere with the grid fins like glowing red hot and pieces flying off them, and they were like fixing them with like little plates between the reuses, and then they got those like lovely titanium ones in. But oh, come on, give us a different camera, please, please, please.
Is making its way back down to Earth.
Now at 50 kilometers and closing.
I think it's going to make it to the ocean in substantially one piece.
Correct. It's safe to say ship's getting a little beat up, but that's to be expected on a test flight. We are still learning how to improve the ship for total survival and recovery of the high heat reentry.
I'm honestly impressed that we're still getting this live view despite how much debris is coming off of this flap right now.
The fact that we've got it is good news.
Oh, I think you just jinxed it.
I may have jinxed it. I apologize.
But it's still telemetry. Okay, and we're back.
We are still going. And the teams here at SpaceX are excited, as you can tell by the cheering behind us.
Way.
There's still a sizable crowd here at Mission Control Center.
I think I can see little hints of blue.
Splashdown is expected in just about 4 minutes from now.
It made it. I mean, it made it in a substantial piece. It didn't break up entirely. Yeah, bits fell off, but
Approaching maximum entry dynamic pressure. External temperatures are dropping.
Temps dropping. Oh, please give us please give us a different camera view, please.
How much is the ship is left? We can't really tell. We can still see.
Yeah, but there's enough that it's still able to transmit like data, so there must be like hull integrity.
But for any
but that is definitely blue.
And videographers, we know that's part of the gig sometimes.
Yeah, and you can see that the speed is rapidly slowing down. That's actually really great news for us. We want the vehicle to be slowing down before it splashes down into the ocean. That'll help set us up.
It might, without the flap control, it might go tumbling now as we're hitting the really thick parts of the atmosphere. You know, you'll start seeing that in a few thousand kilometers. So there is a chance that it just breaks up in the thick parts of the atmosphere because it hasn't got that flaps to control it. But I see blue. I see a ship that has made it through re-entry in a whole piece. No cameras, but still telemetry.
If we can get them, if the ship is still around, we will bring it back to you.
Vehicle has passed maximum dynamic pressure.
Through the max Q on the return.
Great news. maximum dynamic pressure being the moment in which the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of...
I'd be really surprised if they go for an engine start now, but who knows?
Still dropping. We're now at 37 kilometers above the ocean. Just like Flight 3, we are targeting
I was not
splashdown in the water
even slightly expecting it to get that far.
We don't have a live view right now, but because we're still getting data and telemetry, that does tell us that ship is still doing okay, at least.
It's hanging in there. Oh.
There, we got that live view back. The crowd very excited to see that view. Despite not being able to see the...
Okay, we are now below the speed of a booster re-entry.
Yes, and collecting data. Continuing to collect data as we get closer and closer to Earth.
Yes, now 30 kilometers, now 29 above the
Starship
Indian
is
Ocean.
at 30 kilometers altitude, Mach 2.
Okay.
Sounds like the vehicle's traveling, as we just heard, Mach 2, which is, looks like we might...
Be tumbling?
I thought maybe it might clear up. It is a little bit, now at T+1 hour, 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
The telemetry is going
hoping that the ship can hang on. It's probably potentially hanging on by a couple of bolts and threads.
I love that they're not...
And that is excellent news.
They're not, like, painting over this. They're being incredibly honest here.
1,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Starship is at 20 kilometers altitude.
Hey, it's just like a normal SN8 flight now.
See anything. The data itself is what we really...
It's just gonna boink into the ocean at several hundred kilometers an hour, isn't it?
Below the speed of sound.
We can hope that they get an engine start up. I don't know though.
That movement means the flaps are actuating.
Oh my god, the flaps are working! No! Maybe then. Maybe.
This is a nail biter. But we are, unfortunately, we can't see through the lens, but we're still getting the feed.
I can't.
Starship is now 11 kilometers over the ocean. All this data is incredibly important, even if you know,
I can't believe that flap is still moving.
Okay, we can see
That shoots up the possibility now of actually having a flip and burn landing. Maybe. If this gets there, this is the most metal thing ever. This is incredible.
Keep an eye on the bottom right corner of your screen for those 3 center engines to relight. They will give
No way. I remember what part of the tile missing was in the engine bay, so like there is a chance that the engines aren't in such good condition. But we're about to find out now.
Starship is passing through 5 kilometers altitude.
Okay.
This is incredible.
I can't believe this.
Getting very close to splashdown.
These fireflies are such a good sign of life right now. We wish we could see more, but we'll take it.
Like if the engine's even light, that is incredible. Come on.
Landing beam startup for Starship. All right, good news there.
That flap is gone. The landing burn actually started, I think. I know there's no telemetry, but the speed is down. No way! No way! No fucking way!
The landing burn shutdown was commanded.
No! What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow. I mean, it was a little bit of use your imagination as you were going down with what we could actually see, but we were able to hear the ship did its landing burn. It sounded like we might have got 2 engines. There's the final call for landing burn shutdown, but we'll go back through all the data, but we did
what?
that the landing burn place Starship re-entry and did its first ever landing burn. From South Texas to the other side of the Earth, Starship was in the water. What a day. What a day, guys. Yeah.
No.
Incredible.
No freaking way.
The whole way down. Analysis said it could do it. We weren't sure if it was going to be able to happen, but Starlink powered through, and we were able to get a signal. We started to get some debris on the camera.
Touched it down.
But we were able to see it. So, I mean, what a day. Just recapping, everything started off today. We lifted off from here in Starbase just about an hour ago. It feels like a lifetime. The ascent, boost back, and it's
oh, I can't wait to see, like,
kept its attitude,
oh, if it's soft touchdown, they might be able to, like, pull the camera views that we lost, because they're recorded locally. No!
Landing burn after launch into space, so...
I can't wait for the footage after this to come out. At that,
I'm gonna take some time to collect myself, but wow, that was incredible. I can't wait for the next one. Over to you guys.
It was so loud here. I haven't heard.
That's a rocket that is ready to take payloads to space. They still have a lot of work to do on reusability, but from that launch, that is a rocket that is now ready to carry and deliver payloads to space. They will be going orbital with that soon. Like, they're surely one or two more in-flight, integrated flight tests. They might try a catch attempt next, but, you know, they might not. But all they need to do now, they got to toast the marshmallows. I don't want those torches. Yeah, all they've got to do now is, like, demonstrate an in-space burn. But then do they really need to do that? Because they just demonstrated that the engines work after re-entry. So of course the engines would have worked in space. Like, this thing, your marshmallow's on fire. Your marshmallow's on fire. The marshmallow's on fire.
And we will see you next time.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that. What a fantastic flight. Congratulations. Incredible. Incredible. Thanks for watching this. I'm not a reaction YouTuber. I record these for me so that I can look back on them in the future. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I have to go to work now. What a day. What a day. What a day. What a flight. See you soon. Ta-ra.